Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather, and I just want to say happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I know Valentine's Day was yesterday, but I was extremely busy, and so I'm just going to do a quick showing what my husband got me for Valentine's Day, and then I'm going to go in and make Valentine cookies because I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. I was just so busy doing a few other things. So my husband got me these nice pair of slippers. I wore them last night. In fact, I fell asleep wearing them and I woke up and I only had one on, and I worried that one of my animals got them because my cats go after this stuff. My puppy or my dog, she goes after all my slippers, but my cats go after the little pom-poms off my slippers. He also got me these little bath fizzers, shaped like macaroons. I'm just trying to read what kind. I did see the, I cannot read these. Baked apple and winter pine is the two fragrance of those ones. You got me these little other more bath fizzers. These ones are shaped like donuts. And these ones are sugar plum, marshmallow, and creme brulee. It's gonna be really nice having a nice hot soak with these. He got me another pack of the, I know how to open these. I just sometimes have trouble finding the right where the ignite part is. Another pack of the essential oils for my diffusers. So this has got eucalyptus, lavender, and peppermint in it. And he got me another one of these little caddies. When he gave it to me, he said this was more like a joke. He said he was gonna like give it to me for me to wrap and give it to him, but it will be for on his side of the couch. And so, but he said, no, it makes more sense that I get it. He said, because I'm the one who sets up the living room and just does all the displays around the house. So he said he gave it to me for me to put where I think it should go. So it's a nice, it's a full leather little Kleenex and remote control caddy. So it will just be on the other side of the couch. It will be on his side table. And I will set this up with all the remotes for him. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in the kitchen really soon, and I am going to be making these little cookies. I've had this cookie cutter a couple years and I've just not had the time to use it. It's really cool because it's a two-piece. See if I can get this open. Two-piece cookie cutter, and you can make the cookies either single or the actual one cookie shaped like this. And so you've got the cookie cutter, plus it has the stamp to give you the decorations. And it's got the recipe on the back. So I will be heading to the kitchen to make these cookies. So I'll meet you in a few moments in the kitchen. Okay, so I'm in my kitchen. The back of this does have a recipe, and so it asks for cream cheese, and I don't have cream cheese today, so I can't make this recipe that comes on the back of this, but I will try that one very soon. So I got out my Joy of Cooking cookbook. So I'm gonna be making my rolled cookies that I use from this recipe, or the recipe I use from this cookbook. So we need half a cup of white or brown sugar. I'm using white sugar today. Half a cup of butter, 2 eggs, 2.5 cups of flour, and 2 teaspoons of double acting baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now I was looking up this double acting baking powder. I've never heard of it. I was looking for substitutes and stuff, and then I finally just said, use your baking powder interchangeably, whatever the recipe says. So I don't know what kind of baking powder I have. I just buy it in a box and I pour it into here, so I've never even noticed if it's double acting or not. So the fact that this recipe says there must be something to it. It's something I've never heard of or I've never come across. I've made I've never actually made this recipe. I've made the cookie that comes before it and the cookie one that comes after it. I've never made this one. Hey Ninja baby. Oh, my cat's coming up to see me. Okay, so we're going to start this up. So I've got my stand mixer here. Okay, and into the stand mixer, we're going to add our half a cup of sugar. And she's going to jump right up on the counter here. Okay, so we need half a cup of sugar. Oops, do this. And my half a cup of butter at room temperature, so it's already been out. And she is going to knock my camera over. Ninja, go. Go. And my half a cup of butter, which has been sitting out at room temperature for almost an hour. So it should be good and soft now. Just going to use the edge of that to wipe the butter off, and I gotta move her before she knocks my camera over again. She went around behind the camera. Okay. But once I turn this on, she will leave because she does not like the sound of this going. I'm having trouble with this, getting it to move. There we go. I'm just gonna beat this for a couple minutes so it gets mixed in.
I like it.
And then to this we'll add the 2 eggs. Just gotta get my whisk and scrape down the sides. And while that's doing it, I'm going to start doing the flour. So I need about 2.5 cups of flour. Now I just knocked my camera over. I'm gonna go grab my sifter because just gotta grab my sifter. I forgot to grab that too. So now the eggs and butter and sugar are almost mixed together. There's a few little lumps in there, but I'm gonna start adding my flour. One cup, so I need like about 2.5 cups of flour. And I really love the taste of cookies and cakes when you actually take the time to sift the flour. And there goes my spoon. I have to grab a new spoon because I just dropped that one on the floor.
Okay. What is that?
starting to mix up again. I'm just going to put this cover here so the flour doesn't fly. Where this lid does, this cover is for the other mixing bowl. It's for the metal one. It doesn't work with this glass one, but it does kind of protect me from getting too much flour everywhere. Grab a new spoon. Because I still need half a cup of flour. And with this last half a cup of flour, I'm also going to add in my salt and baking powder. Where's the salt? Oh, I guess this recipe doesn't need salt. Okay, maybe that's why it's asking for double acting baking powder. If I can get the lid open. Turn that off. There. Just turn the lid. It went crooked. There. My lid went crooked. Now I need 2 teaspoons of this. Now when I do my baking powder, baking soda, and salt, I will always sift it with a bit of the flour. So I have this half a cup of flour. So I'm just going to take this hook off just so I can get this a little bit better. Just so I've got more room to do this. So I got half a cup of flour, and then I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I just find that really helps to sift in your salt, baking powder, baking soda, cornstarch, or anything else. I guess a creamy tartar, that would be another one that I always try to sift those ones in at the same time as I'm sifting in my flour. And I'm just gonna take this, I'm just gonna scrape this down. Make sure that all this stuff that's here, it's all mixed in good this time. Same with this. I'm just gonna take this quick second to just scrape the batter off of here. Lid back on here, and what else do I have to add? Put my vanilla. That's what I missed. A little bit of vanilla. There we go. I'm just gonna let this mix in till it forms a ball, and then I have to chill for about 3 to 4 hours. So I'll be back in 3 or 4 hours when I'm ready to roll out and bake. Okay, so my cookie dough's been in the fridge for a few hours. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna work with about half this dough. I've got my oven preheated. I got my pans ready, but they're on my other counter. I'll have to go grab them in a second. I'm just gonna roll this out. Oops. I've got the cookie cutter still behind me too. I didn't grab that. So I'll grab that now. So I'm going to make quite large cookies, so when they're part, still like a good sized cookie. So I need to roll this a little bit thinner. Move my camera. Okay, rolling this out. I just dropped my camera. I don't know where it stopped recording. this out a little bit thinner. It's a little bit thick in a few places. I think that's good. Like I said, that's the cookie cutter. So I'm going to cut the cookies out. Let's give it a little shake. So I gotta grab my pan so I can get this done. So I'll just be back in 1 second. So I got my cookie sheets lined with this reusable baking liner. So I've got these ones.
I don't want to lie.
Oops. That hurt my hand. Okay. I'm just going to
I don't want
cut.
to.
Okay, welcome back. I've got my dough here. I've got half of it. I've got it ready to roll out. I've got my cookie sheet here with my reusable baker's liner stuff, whatever this is, the reusable parchment paper type stuff. I'm just gonna roll up my dough. I've got my surface already floured and ready to go. I got my cookie cutter. I've got my oven preheated at 350. I'm just going to quickly roll this out. Now this is a cookie cutter. I've not used this kind before. Well, I have before. It's been a long time since I've used this type where it's got the cookie cutter on one side and it's got a cookie press on the other to give these little dots. I've got one for Halloween, and it's been a long time since I've used that style of a cookie cutter that gives you the imprint as well as cutting out the shape. Roll my dough out. Just want to make sure it's thin enough for the cookies, but thick enough at the same time. So I don't want my cookies too thin, but I want them evenly. I do want my cookies at even thickness, but I don't want them too thick. And I got a few places here where I can kind of just pinch this together, where I've got some little gaps here and there, like that. So now I'm just gonna start cutting out the cookies. And I'm gonna bake them fully like that. And I'm not gonna do the little the thing with the dots. I don't really like the way it looked. I had done one earlier just to see how it would look, and I'm not gonna do that. I just like the idea of having the puzzle piece kind of hearts. So I'm just gonna keep rolling out and cutting out my cookies and put them in the oven. Like I said, my oven is preheated at 350 degrees. So I'm just going to cut these out and put them in the oven. And when the first tray comes out of the oven, I'll be back to show you what they look like. Alright, so I got the first tray of the cookies out of the oven. I've got my second tray in the oven. Now I'm going to scoop these out. I should be able to, actually I gotta grab a knife and cut those apart. Grab a little knife. I'm gonna cut. Lightly cut these apart. There. Some of that extra cookie dough was there. I've never done it with these ones before, but there we've got the nice heart. I'm going to set them just kind of side by side to cool, because I don't want them to break. I don't want them to stick together. So I'm just going to lift these up. So I was able to make 16 hearts. nice soft cookies. So I'm just gonna finish lifting these up and cutting these apart. I left them together because I wasn't sure of this recipe if it was going to expand or, you know, run together. Like sometimes I've had cookies where they kind of spread across the pan, and I wasn't sure if these ones would do that. So I decided to bake them kind of a little more together. But now I know how this recipe works with these cookie cutters. So next time I can actually have them, bake them separately, and they should, you know, be okay. I'm just gonna let these ones cool. I've got about 5 or so more minutes for the second pan to be done. And then I'm gonna let these cool, and then we're gonna ice them. So I'll be back when we're here to ice all the Valentine cookies. Okay, now welcome back. I'm going to be making my quick icing. It's just a few ingredients. So first ingredient is just half a cup of icing sugar. And then I will need just 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. Like I said, I just need a small amount of icing for the few cookies that I made. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of milk. And just mix this together. I'm going to add some vanilla extract, and because it's Valentine's, I'm adding some red food coloring. And I like mine because I'm making cookies. I like it kind of more runny. I like it thick when I have to pipe onto the cakes, but I like it really thin so I can just put some on the cookies. I'll just put a little bit of the vanilla in here. That's going to make it even a little more runny, which is good. And I love the way the vanilla makes it smell. And then a couple drops of food coloring. Actually, I might need a little more icing sugar in here. I think it might be just a little too runny. I'm just going to scrape down the sides, make sure all the chunks of icing sugar are well incorporated. Oh, see, now it's starting to get thick. I'm just going to grab one of my cookies here. I'm just going to dip it in and see if it is too runny or if it's good. Oh, I think that's perfect. So I'm just going to dip the cookies in the icing like that. They will be good, and I'll be back when they are all dipped so you can see what my Valentine cookies look like. Okay, so there are the 16 heart puzzle cookies that I have made. I'll probably have to make a little more icing because this is just a little bit too runny. I did add more icing sugar, but I think I'll just have to make a second batch of icing if I want it to be better, but I think this is good enough for tonight. I'll probably add some, I think I'll add some sprinkles on there as well. Okay, so again, I just wanted to say, wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channels and watching my videos, and I'll see you all in the next ones. Bye.